Do you want to feel a bit more empowered in your life? Well, today I'm going to give a few points around how you can really feel more empowered. And if you stay until the very end, I have a final point that you want to stick around for as well. As always, if you want to connect with me more on social media, you can find my links in the show notes below. Now, warning to this one, this kind of idea that I've developed by myself is that some people may not like it, and if you don't, that's totally cool. That's totally cool. It's just a perspective shift that's really helped me, and as always, I wanted to share it with you. It's totally cool if people don't agree. So, I was in a situation or two recently, and even last year, right? And things can get like a little bit tough, right? And then it's easy to go, oh, it's things are happening against me, like, oh, it's all tough. Everyone else seems to have it easy, or you see someone else and you think, oh, they got it easy, right? Well, I believe everyone goes through things, and if I'm honest, I saw it as an opportunity to really use my tools, really dive into what I talk about and utilize even more, which is great because when I get opportunities to go through tough times, I'm able to share more of what I use to move through it. And there would have been a time where I would have been in that state of mind of like, oh, this is so hard, this is really tough, and oh, this is really frustrating, right? But now, even if I do hurt, like maybe I get anxious, maybe I get a bit stressed, maybe I get upset, that's perfectly normal, right? That's perfectly okay. Yet, I don't stay there for too long because of the way I look at things and the way I've trained myself. So that's what I really wanted to talk about today because there are those people still out there that I've heard, they complain about everything, everything's against them. Well, if you had my story and all that kind of thing, and I've certainly been caught in that myself, right? Well, you don't understand what's, this kind of thing. And I'm not denying that tough things do happen to people. Yet this is just a perspective shift that's really helped me personally when it seems like life's against you and things are tough. And it's made me feel a lot more empowered. Ask yourself this: if you're looking or you have looked at life in a certain way and you're like, it's just so tough, it's really frustrating, everything happens against me, why is nothing going right for me, everyone else has got it easier. Well, that's what I wanted to share with you today. So, the first thing that really helps me when it seems like things are a bit tough and I want to feel a bit more empowered is that I believe any challenge that has put in my way has been put there for a reason, right? So maybe it's to learn something, maybe it's to grow. Now, something really, there are things that are really tragic, really sad, and that happen to us. We all go through grief. I believe every human goes through grief at some stage in their life, minus maybe there's a psychological condition where you can't grieve. Generally, most human beings go through some kind of grief and we're going to lose something or someone in our life, right? Now, I'm not saying don't feel it and don't grieve 100%. I've done that many times in my life and I've needed to. Yeah, I'm talking about the things where maybe your business plan didn't go to plan, or someone said something you didn't expect, or maybe you're seeing someone and it didn't work out, or maybe you didn't get the job you wanted. Whatever it is for you, right? I believe the challenges are there for a reason in my life, right? And when I started looking at things like that, that's really helped. Again, it doesn't mean I'm just going to suddenly, if I've had disappointment or upset, I'm going to feel those things. I don't stay there now, though. I don't stay in that state, and this belief has really helped me that I somehow this has been an opportunity. And actually, when I look back at things when things haven't gone well, I've actually saw the beauty in things working out in a better way in the future. Now, it may not always be the case, but I've certainly learned something along the way, or I've grown stronger, right? Like many people I know go through sort of like money challenges. I've been through it in the past, and sometimes it's teaching us to learn to really look after it, or to really actually what you need to be doing is studying money every single day. That's one example. Or maybe like you it doesn't work out. There are people who tell me they're like, just it's not working out of anyone, and I've certainly been in that boat when you're like out in the dating scene, and it's like, it's really frustrating. Well, maybe there's something for you to learn there. And again, like some people, that's why some people won't like to hear this, because I've certainly been in that boat of like, oh, everyone's difficult, it's so hard, that kind of thing. Then I realised I needed to take a bit more of a reflection of me. Actually, where am I? Is my nervous system regulated? And I'm going to talk about that in another podcast, actually probably the next one. Have I got the right energy? Because you can say all the right things to someone you're dating or friends, family or network situations. If your energy's off and your nervous system's not regulated, you're not going to be as effective. So maybe that's what it's teaching you, these disappointments. So I believe challenges are there for a reason. The second thing, and again, this is where people may or may not like it. I find it very empowering to believe this though. I believe if challenging things keep coming my way, I am doing something wrong. And it's not, this again is very, there's a very fine line, because people are like, well, all these things aren't my fault, I'm not to blame. Maybe you're not to blame for those things, right? Yeah, I believe the energy I put out has resulted in different results. When I've been in a good place and I've been feeling good and I've really made an intention to feel good, and sometimes that takes a lot of effort, right? That sometimes took a lot of effort from going from a dark place to like really excited. When I felt good, I start noticing good things start showing up in my life. Now, I know this is a bit into like the spiritual side of things. You may or may not be there. This is just true for me and my experience. Yeah, I've noticed when I've been down or anxious and worried about things, maybe the thing I was fearful didn't happen, yet other things start unfolding, or just I keep getting setbacks or something like that. So I believe that my outer world, everything that's going on that's not inside of me, is coming as a result from how I'm feeling inside. And I've just got a lot of evidence in my own life to support that. You know, I've listened to like really intelligent mentors and teachers who actually have a lot of evidence in their life as well around this. And it's not necessarily easy to believe, because it takes a little bit of a turnaround, I've found. So like you start feeling good day one, like you really make an intention to feel good. That does not mean on day one that suddenly everything amazing that you want starts showing up. And that's the problem with instant gratification in this world. It takes a little bit of time, I found, just from the energy we're putting out. Now, of course, there may be some days when it's more difficult to feel better than others. And those days, I'm just like, look, I just need to release some emotion. Maybe it's screaming into a pillow. Maybe it's having a bit of a cry, right? So, but making the intention to feel good the majority of the time has really done me a service, and things start showing up in my life. And yeah, it's, again, I know some people are going to disagree with this, and some people are so set in their heads, they're like, well, oh, everything's difficult, it's not my fault. Well, how good is that making you feel, right? Instead of being like, look, I'm going to make an intention to feel good. It may be difficult some days, but I'm still going to go through it. And I'm going to take the action in terms of what I can control. And that leads me on to my third point. Celebrate every action you take, no matter what the outcome is. So if like you're really struggling with maybe your health and fitness, and you're not feeling as fit as you were, or maybe not as strong, and you go into the gym and you turn up and you train, you want to celebrate the hell out of that. You want to be like, yes, I did it, I showed up. Because if you keep beating yourself up over those kind of things, it's not going to serve you either. So celebrating the actions you're taking towards where you want to go. You turn up for a date. I'm talking about dating because it's a very familiar subject for me. So you go, and as is fitness, right? You go on a date, right? It doesn't work out. You celebrate yourself for turning up to a date. That takes a lot of courage, right? You turned up. You made the effort. Maybe you're seeing someone for a little bit. And I've been there many times and it doesn't work out. I used to beat myself up. Oh, what's wrong with me? No, you celebrate yourself for taking the action, and you learn anything you can from that experience, right? So celebrating every outcome, celebrating every action towards your outcome, no matter what, that's a really key one as well, I found, in order to feel more empowered, because who's in control of your own actions? You are. So, and celebrating is going to reinforce your system to do more of it. You'll want to do more when you get excited and you have fun, right? So don't just do it passively, get excited about it. Now, I've got a final point I want to share with you. I want to mention again, though, if you want to connect with me more on social media, you can find my links in the show notes below. So my final point is kind of re-emphasizing what I've been talking about across a couple of points. just every single day, waking up with an intention of how you want to feel. Not like the outcome, or I will only feel good if I get this, this, and this done, or this, and this shows up. Having an intention to feel a certain way each day. Now, of course, if you're going through grief or you just lost someone, the intention to feel like absolutely ecstatic about life may be a little bit out of reach. But maybe it's like, I'm going to make an intention to just be with myself and be as calm as I can. And if I'm upset, that's okay. Right. So starting with an intention at the start of your day, I found is really benefited me. Just being like, right, I'm going to focus on feeling this way. And then when like, I'm a human being, now and then something's going to come in and I'm going to get a little bit like, may knock me off guard a little bit, but coming back to my intention, being like, right, I want to feel good. Okay, what am I going to do? I need to sit with myself and process of what just happened, or I need to go for a walk, or I need to do a bit of exercise or breath work, or journaling it out a little bit. So that's what I got for you today. Just wanted to give you some tips on how to feel a little bit more empowered. Again, this is my view on what's worked for me. I just want to share it with you. So I appreciate you for being here, and remember to lead with your heart and not with fear.